What's up, YouTube? It's HELLCAT J. So I had just finished my bumper earlier, my front bumper and my rear bumper. So got my bracket on for the passenger side front wheel, and I think I'm actually gonna chance it again one more time with the double-sided tape. The only reason being is I think the double-sided tape didn't work in the Challenger because my wheels were rubbing and it was moving the whole kit, which I don't foresee happening with this Charger ever, because I don't plan on going too huge. I mean, this is just my daily driver, just making it look really cool. But also, the first time I mounted my wide body kit on my Challenger, I didn't screw in the brackets. I actually just used double-sided tape on the back side of this. Now, this is strong as shit. This isn't going anywhere. So what I did was I put the fender on the bracket, then I lined it up so where the body lines would be perfect. I marked it with a marker down under here to mark exactly where I put it, and then I drilled it in. Now I'm actually going to try one more time with the adhesive tape just to see if I can get this wide body complete today. Get it done and over with today. So after that, I wiped my surface with alcohol and a microfiber towel. I'm going to do it again, and then I'm going to apply 3M adhesion promoter. I'm going to let that dry. Actually, I might bust out my heat gun just so it dries quicker. That increases the adhesion of the 3M tape. So I'm going to give the 3M tape one more try. The one reason being is I don't really plan on going too ham with this car. I mean, it's just a V6 daily driver. And if need be, if I get rub or something happens and I need to cut fenders or whatever, these brackets will still be here nice and tight, so I could just pop off the wide body and do it all over again. So I'll let you guys know how it goes, and I'll show you the finished product. Alright guys, this time I am pleasantly surprised. I think another big reason the 3M tape didn't really work with the HELLCAT per se was because it's vinyl wrapped, and I heard of guys having issues getting the 3M tape on the vinyl wrap. But let me show you how doing the vinyl wrap came out on this Charger. I mean, how doing the 3M tape came out here. Looks pretty damn good to me. If you look at the top, the seams are pretty good. It's not moving anywhere. It's pretty solid. I pressed on real hard. The adhesion promoter, I really think, is doing its thing. The lines are clean. You can see here they match up really nicely. Trim line matches perfectly. Down here matches up really well. No obvious gaps in the seam. So I'm actually pretty satisfied. So that means, God, I'm sweating. It's so hot out here. That means I'm going to complete this wide body today, and the fender flares. So I showed you how I did the first bracket here. Why don't we work on the back side? I'm going to test fit everything, mount the brackets, and show you how the brackets are mounted. One actually goes to the rear door, and then I'll show you how that goes. But I think the 3M tape definitely adheres to paint a lot better. Like, immediately I could tell the bond is a lot stronger, and I don't think it's going anywhere. It feels pretty solid. And again, I don't plan on going crazy with a little V6. This is just my daily driver, which I'm trying to make look really cool. It's my family car, guys. Look, I'll show you. This is how you know it's a family car. Look. Oh wait. Haha, look at that, baby seat and everything. So yeah guys, I'm actually gonna finish this body kit today. Have the whole wide body done within a weekend. So let me show you guys what it's gonna look like. What's up, YouTube? So I'm back. I actually finished the fender flares on the driver's side, and I must say it came out really nice, as you can see. Now as far as lines and stuff, You know, this is a kind of a gap that I didn't have on the left side. I guess it was the way I placed the bracket, but she's solid. Even with the 3M tape, and the seams up here are perfect. The seams all the way down are perfect. I'm actually just gonna fill this in with silicone. Nobody will even notice. I did the rear piece right here, and I wanted to show you guys a little something with that. So like I said, drilling the brackets is really the way to go, because it creates such a stability that I didn't have the first time I did with just the double-sided tape with my Challenger. Also though, for Charger specifically, the back piece is a 3-piece. Well, this comes on the bumper, you don't got to worry about that. But this you have to put on, and this you have to put on. So this one, you want to make sure that it lines up perfectly with this line right here. And it does, I have it perfect. Now, with the back door, there's a piece of protective, I don't know if every Charger has it, but there's this protective rubber strip, like a bumper guard. You have to remove that, or else you're not going to be able to drill your bracket or place your bracket in properly. So my strategy with the rear side was actually to, well, let me show you guys something. So for this first piece right here in the middle, it has this little divot right here that goes into this second hole in the back. So when you place it, gotta pop it out just a little bit, boom. So then it sits perfectly, like so. And then you'll see here, it matches up with the line perfectly. Now, with the back, I'm doing something a little different in terms of how I'm mounting. Like the fronts, I just did the brackets. I just drilled them on, I marked it. But this time on the back, I'm doing something a little different. What I'm doing is, on the bottom edge of this space right here on the bracket, I'm putting this thin, crappy 3M tape that came with the kit. It's really crappy, but it's just enough to stick it on there so that you can mount it perfectly how you want it with the lines. And then what I do is I then take this pry tool and pry it off gently so as to not remove the bracket, and then I drill it in. Same thing with the door. I'm gonna do the same thing, but remember, with the door you have to remove this. I might as well remove it right now as we speak. This is just on with some like 3M tape or something. Yeah, see? Wow, even Dodge uses 3M tape, so you know it must be some sort of decent. Just come right under it like that so it doesn't leave any residue. See what I'm doing? Just pull from the bottom. You will have a little bit of residue, so you're going to want to clean that up with alcohol. Don't use Windex because it can leave it can degrade adhesion of any 3M or adhesion promoter or whatever. So there you go. So you just take that off, toss it. Now another thing I wanted to mention with the rear door for the Chargers, after you drill in the bracket, you're gonna have these, you know, screws in here like so. But what happens is, even with small, maybe 1/4 inch screws, it hits on this and it creates like almost like punctures. So what I did is I just took like a bolt cutter and I just squeezed, cut them short, and now I have no issue. It doesn't hit at all. So you want to make sure you cut these. I just used a small bolt cutter, and it was good. Now, as far as fitment of the rear, as you can see, the lines match up really well. The door, the fender flare is not hitting this, it's not hitting the door or anything. So, and in terms of flushness, it's flush all the way throughout. And this is what I feared, that there would be some point where the 3M tape was showing. But like I was saying, with the bracket, this thing is solid. It's not moving. So I'm not even sweating this like I did the first time with the Challenger. I'm just gonna put a thin layer of silicone here, and that'll be it. As you can see here, I'm pulling this pretty hard. Nothing. It's not going anywhere. Seams are nice on this one. I honestly think the Charger kit is much easier to do than the Challenger kit. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. I mean, you guys take a look. Look at this. I'm gonna do my exhaust tips pretty shortly. Probably sometime this week. I got my new wheels for the HELLCAT coming in. Look at this. Look at that. Looks so good. And now there's the issue of gap, right? I mean, this is huge. This is like 2 inches. So I'm thinking about, after I'm done putting in the flares, jacking up the Challenger and taking off my spacers and then putting them in here. So one thing I want to recommend whenever you're putting in spacers, and trust me, I learned the hard way. So with the Challenger, when I first put on the spacers and then the wheels, I was so happy with the fitment. I was like, sweet. And I just used my impact gun and I just torqued it as hard as I could. But then when I hit the highway, I started getting this rumble in the wheel, and I was like, shit, I literally, there was none before, and then it just happened as soon as I put the spacers. So then I did a little research, and I saw that, you have to get a torque wrench and torque both the spacers and the wheel to the factory torque spec. So I looked it up. It's 111 for HELLCATs. I got my torque wrench and I torqued the spacers and then the wheels, the same thing. And lo and behold, literally the drive right after that, the test drive right after, absolutely no wobble. So now I'm huge on wheel torquing, like torque specs. So I looked it up. It was kind of hard to find. It's so hard to find information on the V6 all-wheel drive Charger because it is different than the V6 rear-wheel drive. But I looked up the owner's manual, and it said that it's 130 foot-pound torque. So I'm going to be doing that for the wheels and the spacers. So yeah, guys, I'm really liking how it's coming out. I'll do a quick little finished product video after I don't know if I should wash it yet, just to make sure the adhesive is good. I might put a thin layer of silicone over the whole thing just to kind of weatherproof it. Especially with this one little gap I have, I gotta close that up. That's bothering me like crazy. But yeah, I'm really happy how it came out. I'm really happy that I was able to do this on a Saturday and Sunday and get it done and literally transform the look of my car. I mean, look at this, man. It's sick. All right, guys, I'll show you guys the finished product after I put the spacers on. So I want you guys to notice like how bad this wheel gap is. I mean, come on, that's huge. That's about 2 inches. So I think the 2-inch spacer will be perfect for this. Hey guys, so check it out. So last night I finished the wide body kit super late at night. Well, not super late, but it was already dark. And yeah, I couldn't even film it after I put the spacers. So I wound up taking the spacers off my HELLCAT and I put them on my stock 19-inch rims with 235 55s. I mean, they're not the biggest tire, but they do fill the wheel well pretty nicely. I mean, obviously I could go lower, but then I run the risk of rubbing on the inside, which I am a little tiny bit on here, but nothing crazy. Nothing to risk the integrity of the fender flares. But check out how she came out, guys. I'll show you guys the front. Yeah. Can't wait to get it paint matched. So let me show you guys the seam work. Look at that. Spot on, no gaps whatsoever. I did have a couple issues with gaps, but let me just give you a walk around first and I'll show you what my quick little fix was. And it happened in the same 2 areas of the car. Check that out. This wide body kit, I'm very impressed on how the fitment was overall. Just great. So check out the seams right here. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Gorgeous overall. So the problem area that happened on both sides, and I'm sure it has to do with something with the way the kit was molded, was right here. I had this giant gap, like coming out like maybe like this, like it was just coming off, and I was like, oh my god, this freaking tape. So I had the idea, okay, so if the gap is starting here, why don't I just close that with something? So what I did is I just tapped a little flat screw into here, and voila, there is no gap anymore. And it's solid, it's not going anywhere. Wound up doing the same thing on the other side. I didn't do it as well on the other side at first. It kept actually poking it out even more. Like it kept poking this piece out even more when I screwed it in, so I was like, shit. So then I just kind of angled it down into the, I guess, whatever plastic molding is in here. And then that closed the gap there too, as you guys can see. Boom, nothing. So now my wide body pieces are solid. She's looking great, guys. I mean, huge improvement. The spacers definitely closed some of that atrocious gap that I had. It's still not exactly how I wanted, but for now, with the stock rims and really good tires, these are Continentals. These are great all-season tires. And remember, this is my daily driver. I drive my kid in this car every day. So I want something safe. I don't drive crazy in this car. I got the HELLCAT for that, but yeah, guys, check out how it came out. Looking great. I'm loving this. Totally transformed my car from day one, from when I got it with the stock GT body. Now she's got that aggressive look that I love. This is what I want. This was part of my vision all along. So yeah, I hope you guys like it. Please like, follow, subscribe for more content. If you guys have any questions about how to do this, I'd be happy to help. All right, guys, I'm signing off.